Perfect. Okay. Welcome, everyone. We're thrilled that you could join us for this special live online edition of our Emotional Balance Workshop. I'm Christy Gammon, Wellness Advocate with doTERRA Essential Oils, and joining me this evening is Nicole Warner, Licensed Massage Therapist with Inner Wisdom Healing Center. And I thought I would just kick off with a few announcements to get us started. Then I'll be introducing Nicole, and she's going to go over the first part of our workshop and talk about emotion code and muscle testing and lots of fun stuff. And then I will follow her and share some education on essential oils. But before we get started, I want to just invite everyone to settle in, get comfortable. We want to bring just some light and some encouragement and some peace and calm into your evening. It's just such a pleasure to be able to do this for you. And we thought of a couple things that you might like to have on hand to make your experience most enjoyable. First, we highly recommend that you have some water to drink. Muscle testing is most effective if you have proper hydration. So if you're sipping water during the class, that will be most effective. And so feel free to grab a glass of water. You may also want to have paper and pen for note taking. And then Nicole also has a special invitation to grab something from around your home that will enhance your muscle testing experience. And she may have some more detail on that, but she's thinking either an essential oil or a food, something with live vibrational energy, or it could be a favorite crystal or something in one of those categories. If you want to grab something like that that's meaningful to you, that will enhance your muscle testing experience. I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Nicole, and then she can hop in, and if I forgot anything, then she can pick up where I left off. So I have been friends with Nicole for, gosh, what is it? 8 years?
6.
I think. Is that right? 6? Oh, it feels like forever and ever and ever. We're just instantly soul sisters. And it's just such a joy, our friendship and our partnership and just all the different ways that we connect. But one of them, which I will highlight tonight, is that she is my massage therapist. And she's just such a gifted therapist and light worker, energy worker. She knows all kinds of modalities and therapies to bring to your health and wellness. And tonight she's going to treat us to her knowledge of body code and emotion code. So Nicole, I will turn it over to you.
Well, hello, everybody. This is very exciting. This is my very first time doing an online show, and I am just blessed that Christy has the tools to do this. She's been a wonderful teacher. So as she mentioned, I own Inner Wisdom Healing Center in Worthington, and I am a massage therapist, a craniosacral therapist, and an energy healer. So that's what we're going to talk about a little tonight, is how to use some energy work to find and release trapped emotions. But first, I want to give you guys a minute to run and grab an essential oil, like she said. If you have any essential oils, it's great. Or any like vitamins, supplements, or any kind of food, or something you would probably eat would be good, or it could be soda or something you would drink, because we're going to check your, we're going to muscle test with that and see if that's something your body wants today. Also grab a piece of paper, a journal, so we'll give you just a second to go ahead and grab those things. Okay, so hopefully that was enough time for you to grab your items. So basically, one of the reasons we're doing this is to help people relax, help people calm down, relieve stress. So obviously this is something we deal with all the time, every day. There's always stress, and then there's change and things like that. And especially in this world right now, there's a lot of lack of control or fear and not knowing what uncertainty. So I just want to help and show you how I can help more in the future, but how you can learn a few muscle testing techniques. And I'll explain all this. But so first of all, I just want to let you know. So the question is, what is emotion code? Let's start there. Or what can it do for me? So what can it do for me? We can relieve stress. It can help you sleep. It can release physical pain, tension. So neck, shoulder tension, if you feel extra stress or you worked out or just you fell down and you bumped yourself and for some reason years later it's still bothering you. All of that is just tension that keeps building on, and you can feel that physically. So let's see. So more worries and fears, they could address those things. Anger, feeling out of control, relationship stuff, finding love, trouble finding love, abundance. So where are we blocked and aren't able to build abundance? So income, career focused, or to be focused for a career, your dream, your passion, your ideas. Maybe you see things but you can't figure out how to put them, how to get there. And some of you may feel like there's a heaviness or a block. So my job is to help you find out what those are as well. And what we will ultimately do is once we release a lot of this stuff, we are able to feel more freedom, more peace, more calm, more rest, more joy, more income, more love, more ability to accept love, to love ourselves, to be able to receive love, to give more love, to be more in control, or the list goes on. So basically, emotion code can address everything. So you might hear me say emotion code, body code, or you've seen it written down. Just to tell you what the difference is. Emotion code is basically, it's a form of energy work to find and release trapped emotions that you're holding on. The body code is a computer system. So the emotion code is technically within the body code computer system. And so we're not going to really talk about body code because that's more in depth and that would be something we do one-on-one. But just to let you know that there is a difference, but they are one and the same as well. So first of all, before I go into more to what is energy work, I want you to take your journal right now and write down some negative emotions. So the first ones that are coming in, maybe write 5 to 10, whatever emotions negative we want to recognize that. You don't have to be feeling them right now, but if you are, write them down. Just try to write down as many as you can think of that are negative emotions. So take a minute, I'll give you about 30 seconds or so to write down all of your negative emotions. Just as an example, failure, helplessness, anger, anxiety, fear, worry, nervousness, jealousy, pride, shame, abandonment, just to name a few. Okay, so keep writing if you want to. So obviously, number one thing is you know that none of those negative emotions serve you. So just holding space for you. It's okay to feel these things. There's no shame in feeling these things. These are normal, but they don't serve you. So recognizing that you don't have to hold on to these negative emotions, that you'll make it through even better if you are able to let them go. I know it's hard to let them go, so that's where emotion code can help. So what is emotion code? It is an energy work that uses muscle testing. So energy work, energy medicine, what is that? That is everything, everything living, everything non-living, everything is energy. So everything is molecules, built up molecules. Everything, like our hand, is just molecules of energy. We're a system of circuits within our body. Everything works in connection with the other. So every thought, every organ, every tissue, every tree, every plant, everything's energy. Your feelings, your emotions, your words are all energy. Everything has a weight. They've told people, you remember your mom or something as a child, that don't ever say I hate, because that's a very strong word. Well, it's because there's a weight there. There's an energy there that people can feel. And have you ever felt like, oh, there's a weight on my shoulder, there's baggage, I'm carrying all the weight of the world on my shoulders, I'm heavy, I'm sore, the stress, you feel it. Again, that's just energy. We are physically feeling this because it's really there. Now, what is muscle testing? Muscle testing is also called applied kinesiology. It's the study of the energy that moves in the muscle. So testing the muscle strength. Typically in person, someone would muscle test the other person to help them determine what their subconscious is saying. So muscle testing specifically deals with the subconscious. It's a way to communicate with your subconscious and get yes and no answers, true and false, positive and negative things. Now, I just want to say this up front as well, that I always, always, always ask God for help. Any kind of energy work I do, anytime, always, I ask God for help. And I just wanted to state that whatever your faith is, your belief system, if I'm working with you one-on-one, I communicate with the language that you understand. So whether you believe in universe, source, spirit, divine, whatever your word is, whatever you believe is like above all, or if you don't, that's okay too. It works anyway. So I just want you to know that I'm where I'm at with that. So basically, before I do any work, I always ask God for help, no matter what we're doing, that my intuition is guided by Him. And so we usually start with a prayer, but depending on your faith, your person, your faith, or your belief system, we don't do that out loud, just depending on, what your needs are at that time. We do address mind, body, and spirit with emotion code, body code. So going back to muscle testing, just as an example, if your arm is out, now you can't do this yourself because someone has to work on you. So I'm going to do this way. So if someone were working on you, the answer to check your muscle strength, if you hold your arm and lock it in a tight position, not overbearing, but just like a good lock. If a practitioner was working on you, they would ask your body to show me yes. A yes is typically a strong muscle response. So it's a strong, it can't push your arm down. It's to show me yes, and you're strong. If a no would typically be a weak or a negative, or a no would be like a weak. So it'd be show me no, and the arm is more, it's not bouncy per se, but there's not enough strength to hold it up. Now I'm just showing you because it's harder to do that on yourself. However, you can do it on yourself. Another way to muscle test yourself is by checking, this is again, energy circuits throughout the body, your subconscious communicating through energy to give you answers. So another way is like the ring and ring. This is very common with a lot of people. You kind of have this like lock, but not too locked, but just sort of there. And then you ask yourself to show me yes. So yes, it would be like you're locked in. You don't want to break through. A no would be you break through. So show me yes, and you're locked. Show me yes. So you're like a chain link. But show me no, and you break right through. So again, this takes a lot of practice. So the easiest thing easiest way you can learn how self-muscle test is by something called a sway test. And that's just by standing perfectly still. It works like 99% of the time. Again, we're all human, so muscle testing is not 100% accurate. And it does take a lot of faith and intuition and asking for guidance. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what muscle testing or what sway testing is. And I'll actually have you do this with me. So what you would do is you just stand kind of like you're in mountain pose, comfortable, making sure that your feet are on the ground, and I mean, you can wiggle out and you don't have to be stiff or anything. And then you sometimes, like, I will put my hands maybe at my heart, or it doesn't matter where, it's just whatever's comfortable for you. Feeling that steady, feeling grounded, feeling the earth under your feet, feeling the carpet or the wood, whatever you're standing on, just being in that alignment where you're feeling grounded and steady and strong. I say, you know, God help me muscle test, help me to know where I am, the proper answers. Let me communicate with my subconscious to know what my body wants. Now I'm going to turn to the side. You don't have to, but just so you know how I'm doing this, you can see me sway. So now I'm just standing perfectly still, just standing here. So I'm going to ask my body, my subconscious, my spirit, to show me yes. Show me yes. So I'm swaying forward. A forward is going to be a yes. A backward is going to be a no. So I say, show me no, show me no, show me no. So I'm going backwards. There is something called being switched. So just like circuits are switched with the electricity in your house, your body can be switched because of an imbalance. There's lots of imbalances. And again, that's part of my job, is to help find out what energy is blocking your imbalances to get you back on the line. So sometimes you can get a opposite reaction, like show me yes, and you go backwards. That probably means you have some sort of short circuit, and just give me a call to help you clear that. So what we're first going to do is I want you all to close your eyes. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to do that. And I want you to visualize war. Think of war, fighting, anger, something dark. Okay. So I immediately go backwards. I also wanted to point out that this could take you 10 to 30 seconds to start swaying. So I apologize, I should have told you that first. I'm pretty quick because I've been doing this for a long time. So I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to let you feel that out again. Think of war. Okay, now I want you to think of unconditional love. Think of unconditional love. Think of the love you have for your children, your pets, your spouse, the sun, the warm weather, the beach, whatever you have great love for. And you should sway forward. However, not everybody will understand unconditional love. So many people will actually sway backward for that as well. And that's okay. Many of us have difficulties with unconditional love. So now we're going to practice yes and no. You also don't have to say this out loud. You can think it. But so I just say, show me Show me yes, show me yes. So I'm swaying forward. And then show me no. And I sway back. The other thing is, if you want to, let's grab the emotions that you wrote down on the piece of paper. And what we want to do is look for a trapped emotion that our body's holding on to. We're just going to do one. Out of all that list, that list that you have of all these emotions, well, you can go down okay, so this is what we'll do. This, by the way, this is the emotion code chart. This is something I use when I'm working on you to kind of figure out what emotion it is. It has columns that say column A, column B, row 1 and row 2, and we kind of go through the row asking yes and no questions until we figure out what emotion your body is holding on to. But since you have a chart of your or a list of your own, you can hold it and look at it. And the first emotion that you wrote down, ask yourself right now, is this emotion trapped in my body? So I'm going to pick one right now. Is anxiety a trapped emotion in my body right now? Okay, so I'm getting a no, which is amazing because I definitely have anxiety, but I probably work through a lot of it. Okay, so we're going to go to let's find another. Okay, failure. Is failure a trapped emotion I have in my body right now? I'm getting a yes for that one. Now, I don't feel like a failure. So that's another funny thing is emotions can manifest and they can kind of attach to us from years. So maybe when I was 2 years old or 15 or 21, I felt this emotion. Well, they get stuck. And that's what causes a lot of pain and tension. And so years and years later, we're chronically sore because of this emotion that we forgot about, that we don't know how to let go, but we don't even know we have it. So this is what we're doing. When you find the emotion that's a yes, and if you don't find, you can ask questions, we'll answer them at the end. If you don't find one that you have, of course, let me know. But sometimes your body is not ready to let go of emotions. So that is something else to be aware of, that it's not, if you're like, oh, I can't do this, I'm not doing it right. It could be that your body's not ready. We have something called a heart wall that we build up around our heart, that your subconscious truly believes that it needs to protect your heart, and it will form a wall. And this wall will be emotions and emotions and emotions. And so sometimes people are not ready to break that down and open that up because it's going to bring about memories and things that you've had to deal with. So it's okay if you can't find one. If you can, which odds are you'll be able to find something, just ask yourself if, once you find it, so let's see, failure. Okay, do I need to know anything more about this emotion of failure? Okay, so I do. So I'm swaying forward, so that means I do. So I need to ask myself, what age was I when I received this emotion? Was this before the age of 20? And so I'm swaying back. So that means that that's a no. So it's after the age of 20. So is this between the ages of 20 and 30? Okay, so I'm swaying forward. So is this the age between age 20 and 25? Yes. Is this age 20? 21? 22? 23? Okay, so I'm swaying yes at 23. Now you might not have seen me because I did it pretty quickly because I've been doing this a while. You'll be able to feel this pressure in your chest, this kind of movement that goes very quickly once you've been doing this a while. So sometime around the age of 23, I received this trapped emotion. Now I'm not going to continue to go through it all because that could take a while. It doesn't take that long. Usually it just takes a few more seconds, but to save you, I'll figure that out myself and I'll clear that off of myself later. But how you clear is you need to find out, you need to keep asking, is there anything else I need to know about this emotion? And if there is, you're going to have to keep asking yourself questions. But eventually you'll say, may I clear it now? And you'll get a yes. And that emotion, to clear it, typically we use a magnet. This is a Nikon, very strong magnet. Nikon, not Nikon, Nikon. Magnets move energy. Now, and if you're pregnant or if anyone's pregnant, don't use magnets because they're very, very strong and we don't want to mess up any circuit flow with the child. Magnets over your meridian, your governing meridian line, which is along the back. Magnet, you clear with intention, clearing this failure off of me. You want to do this 3 times. Now, I want to let you know that magnets are very powerful, but you also know with intention you can release it. So bringing the failure emotion to your subconscious, you can let that emotion go. Prayer, meditation, intention, you are able to let it go. I can take, if I'm working with you, I either take a magnet or I'll take my hand. And it's just like an over kind of the intention of clearing it off of you. So that is how you clear an emotion. I want to work with all of you, of course, the whole world. So I am, just to let you know, I am offering a discount kind of program, especially during this time where everyone's kind of in this like scattered, not sure what's going on. But again, this happens all the time. So I don't know if this is new because everyone has this stuff. But you can, your first session, either over phone or by Skype or Zoom, your first session is 30 minutes, and that's 30 minutes is for free. So just text me, 740-507-0431, or you can actually book an appointment online. However, my schedule is a little goofy right now, but innerwisdomhealingcenter.com. After your first session, which is free, your second session is, I have a promo code for 55% off. So that is, the promo code is PEACE, capital PEACE 55, and that'll take 55% off your hour session that would be booked after your free intro. And so I can definitely, of course, help you with all of that or whatever. And the 30-minute would be just to try to figure, talk more about any questions you have and to kind of explain what we're going to work on and then start the program at that time as well. Okay, so now you all have your oils or things from around the house. Looks like there's a question. I'm not sure if we should check that out, or maybe that was my imagination. So if you have an oil, I'm just going to grab one. What you would also do, this is very simple, very easy, is I usually say to hold it at your heart. It doesn't really matter. You can write it down on a piece of paper and look at it and ask the question. You can see it online. You don't actually have to have it in your hand, but it's good to have. I mean, it's a good thing if you have it there, hold it in your hand. So in order to check and see if you need an essential oil or if you need a supplement or that kind of thing, I can't tell you what to eat or drink or anything. So this is just a way for you to kind of help figure it out yourself. So you can hold the oil at your heart or wherever and ask yourself, is this something that my body wants and needs today? So I'm getting a no. Now this is On Guard, which is very powerful essential oil today, but I've been probably bathing in it lately because of everything going on. So it's a good one. Anyway, I'll let Chrissy go into that if we need to. But so I don't need it right now. Now I can ask, do I need this? Let's see, do I need this later in the week? Okay, yes. So I'm getting a yes for later in the week. So I don't need it right now. You can also ask yourself, how many drops? Let me find one I do need. Maybe some rose. Okay, is this essential oil? Could I use a little bit of this today? Nope, not that one either. Oh, here. I should like this one. Okay, is this a good oil for me today? Okay, yes. So this is cedarwood, one of my favorites. It helps me sleep. Is this, let's see, how many drops of this do I need right now? Do I need 2 drops? Do I need 1 drop? Okay, I just need 1 drop. So it's very quick, very easy, and I can explain this more if you have more questions. But I'm going to give it to Christy to take over. All right, thank you guys so much. Namaste.
Thanks, Nicole. That was beautiful. Just so you know, I did check the chat box or the Q&A and took care of it. It was just a personal message to you. And so we didn't ignore a question. And if anyone else has to leave, just a reminder that this is being recorded. And so if you're on Facebook, the recording will live there indefinitely. Or if you're not on Facebook and you're part of the Zoom room, we can email you a link. So just by request, let us know if that's of interest and we can send the link out to you. And if you're in the Zoom room, I've captured Nicole's contact information and the discount code that she shared in the chat box, so you can reference that later. And we'll be adding that contact and discount code to Facebook as well. Okay, so let's jump in and talk a little bit about essential oils. And so if you know me or have been to my classes before, I won't go into the long version of my testimony tonight, because since there's 2 of us presenting, we just want to be really cognizant of your time. But you may recall that I talk extensively about a skin issue and an immune issue. And so my foray into the world of essential oils was one of great physical need. And I was thoroughly blessed by our powerful plant extracts that helped me so much. From that physical perspective, I was either taking the oil internally or applying it topically. And they really were just so powerful for me. But over time, I've also learned that each one of our essential oils also has an incredible emotional benefit. And so I want to share this resource with you. This is Essential Emotions. And I'm often quoting this book or reading from this book aloud in a class. So just to share briefly, the oil that Nicole just mentioned, being On Guard, is our immune support blend. That was one that really helped me when I first started using oils. And it's the oil of protection, which makes sense. And physically, it supports the body in terms specifically of the immune system. And then emotionally, it's the oil of protection, and it comes along and supports you in any emotional area that feels vulnerable. And so I love to just think about how special that was, that I was using something purely at that point based on my own limited knowledge for the physical benefit, but it was also helping build my confidence emotionally, speaking to any vulnerabilities that I had. And so during times like this, when we are interested in boosting our immune systems, for the purposes of this class, On Guard is an amazing essential oil choice, not only for your immune system support, but also for your emotional support. In those areas where we're feeling particularly vulnerable right now, On Guard can help us there too. So, and I found those amazing benefits with each of the oils. Lavender was one, Melaleuca or tea tree was another, and I won't go into all the detail about those, but if this is intriguing to you, it's really fun to crack open the resource books and research some of these different oils and just compare and learn not only the physical benefits, but the emotional side as well. That's all waiting for you. So let me jump in. I want to reference just a few notes that I have because I'm going to talk a little bit about science and math. And your girl here is a communication and psychology major, but I underscore Bachelor of Arts. So when I get into things like chemistry and physiology, botany, and so forth, I like to refer to my notes just to make sure that I'm getting this right. So let me just share a few things first about our emotions. And maybe you didn't know, but in their smallest, most basic form, emotions are chemical molecules. So Nicole talked about everything is energy and how the body is made up of energetic molecules. Our emotions are chemical molecules. And this is significant for a couple different reasons. One, as a chemical molecule, your emotions can access the inside of your cells. And so they can impact your energy level, your behavior, and your mood. That probably makes sense to everyone. And then second, because emotions are chemicals, they are also not limited to the mind. And so again, dovetailing nicely with what Nicole has shared, our emotions flow and are processed all throughout our bodies. So if an emotion might become trapped, it's not just going to be a thought or a feeling in our brain or in our mind. It could actually land anywhere in our bodies. And this is interesting, I find. We have 3 brains or 3 neural networks throughout the body, and these tend to be independent memory and intelligence centers. Even though our emotions can flow freely and land anywhere, they tend to congregate in one of these 3 areas. So the first brain is the mind, the second is the heart, and the third is the gut. And you can probably identify, if you start to feel some stress or overwhelm, which one of these 3 brains your body leans on the most. So if you're prone to headaches or tension in your neck and shoulders, then you're probably a mind person. If you have digestive issues, gut person, so on. That's pretty self-explanatory. So now let me talk for just a moment about our essential oils, because both emotions and essential oils are chemical molecules. Our essential oils interact chemically with our emotions. And so the impact that an essential oil can have on our emotions is dramatic. A powerful reaction occurs when they make contact in the body. Essential oils are also chemically complex. So this results in their many different uses and applications, which is really fun to learn about. And we have tons of different classes that we offer. You let us know what you're most interested in. There's probably already a class, but if you have an area of interest, we can even meet with you one-on-one or design something to meet your needs. But the education is there for you. So essential oils promote emotional purification and anchor us into healthy biochemistry. That's a really big statement right there. That's power. Our essential oils are efficient at detoxifying our cells and restoring proper cell function. That's incredible. These are really big statements. So how could this possibly be true? So let me add a little math to the science. Because essential oils are extremely molecularly dense, they bring results that can be both immediate and permanent. So consider this. 1 drop of any essential oil, and I'm just going to illustrate how tiny that drop is. It's going to put my hand out like this. That's 1 drop of an essential oil. Contains about 40 million trillion molecules. Now that would be a 1 with 19 zeros after it. I just like to demonstrate our signature move. You can take that 1 drop of oil in the palm of your hands, rub it together, and breathe deeply. If you have an oil on hand and want to do that with me, please do. I chose adaptive, which I'll be talking about in just a minute. So now consider that our bodies have approximately 100 trillion cells. So when you do the math, 1 drop of essential oil is enough to cover each cell in the body with 40,000 molecules. That's a lot of love on each one of our cells. And so this can promote emotional and physical detox. It can help remove conflicting cellular messages, and it can encourage cellular restoration and overall emotional health. And so this, because of the way that our essential oils function in the body, and they're so compatible with our human bodies, is why they don't carry side effects. So that's just a little flavor. I have a lot more to share on the topic of essential emotions, and if that's of interest to you, I do have a full-blown about 45 to 50-minute class where we go a little bit more in depth and do some emotional work together. But at this point, I want to educate you on some oils. If you're already enrolled and you have your own stash, these may be some oils that you have that you can use for various emotional needs. And so I want to make sure you're just well informed about the tools that are available to you. If you're not yet enrolled, you don't really have an oil collection per se, and you want to learn more about how to make that happen, then we can go over that at the end. But for now, I want to introduce you to 3 categories of oil. And the first one is our mood management oils. And these are, just gonna show them one at a time, Balance, Citrus Bliss, Elevation, and Serenity. Whoops, Serenity. There you go. And so when I talk about the mood management oils, the way that I reference these so that you can kind of keep the 3 categories separate in your mind is if you're just having a run-of-the-mill, maybe lack of energy or just a decrease in your mood and you want to shift it, or even an increase in your mood, there are 2 choices that will help elevate you. That would be Citrus Bliss and Elevation. And then there are 2 choices that would ground or calm you, and that would be Balance and Serenity. So typical everyday situations, maybe you just hit that point in your day, say it's 3 p.m. and you're either feeling a little overwhelmed, so your energy and your mood is spiking because maybe you're afraid, oh, 5 o'clock is near and I haven't quite checked all of the boxes off my list today, or you start to feel a lower vibration in terms of your mood and your energy on the flip side. And so either way, we want to bring those into balance. And so you can muscle test and decide which oil is going to work best for me at this point. Do I need to raise my vibration or lower it? And so this first category of oils is perfect for those everyday needs where you just want to shift your mood a little bit. Then the second category is our emotional aromatherapy collection. And I'm just going to open up this beautiful box and show you these oils. Make sure you can see them all. We have Cheer, Passion, Peace, Motivate, Console, and Forgive. And they're all very self-explanatory as far as their names. And so you may just gravitate toward one because of the name of it. You may want to open the bottle and smell it. If the smell is appealing to you, that's another indication that it's something that your body needs. So swaying and smelling, they can kind of confirm one another if it's something that smells really delicious to you. Now, if you're getting a sway yes and you don't absolutely love the smell, your body may still need it. You may just want to put that on the bottoms of your feet versus the back of your neck or your pulse points here. That way you don't have to smell it all day long. Whereas if you love the smell, you may want to put it here so you can really enjoy it as long as you can. What I want to share about this collection, why would we use the emotional aromatherapy oils? I like to play off the word therapy in aromatherapy collection. And so if you had an issue where you're feeling up or down, either way, and you feel like you want to talk to somebody about it. So maybe for you, that's a pastor or a small group leader. Maybe that's a clinical counselor. Maybe that's just a really good friend or confidant. If you're either feeling escalated or really down and you feel the need to reach out to someone, or you're being recommended to reach out to someone, then that's where I would call on this collection of oils and look to them for support. And I like to share that when this collection was first introduced, it was tested at an integrated oncology clinic. And so all of the nurses and staff agreed to participate. And so a diffuser was set up in their break room. For control, the first week, nothing was diffused, and everybody answered the same questionnaire and talked about their emotions and if they were feeling positively or negatively over, the course of a series of questions. And then that was held as the control. And then for the next 6 weeks, one per week, each of these essential oils was diffused in the break room. And at the end of each week, the staff members answered that very same questionnaire, evaluating their emotions, whether they were positive or negative. And at the end of the 7 weeks, every single oil was found to be statistically significant in raising positive emotions and lowering negative emotions. And I personally find that incredible when you're talking about people who in the healthcare field, just number one, are overworked, underpaid, stressed just on the average day. And then you layer on top of that they're working in a cancer clinic where they know great pain and heartache and sadness and grief and loss on a regular basis. For them to have that kind of impact, I find just really incredible. And I hope it's encouraging to you what kind of impact it can have in your life. And so that's an amazing collection. And then the final group of oils I want to talk about is our brand new adaptive line. This just came out in the fall, and I'm so glad. So why would we upgrade then to this final category? And I'll show you if I can hold them. This is our adaptive line. And so we have the 15 milliliter straight oil. We have the 10 milliliter roller, which is pre-diluted with coconut, and the capsules. So why would we upgrade to what I would call the extra strength oil? So this would just be a more serious option. And in my opinion, for such a time as this, I find it incredibly helpful. Now, I'm not a person who has a diagnosis, but I can tell you that my personal experience using all three of these, I use them daily, has just been amazing. I love the shift. It's absolutely immediate. As soon as I take the pill, diffuse the oil, and I carry this with me and I roll it on several times during the day, I just notice an immediate difference. And for me personally, when I use it first thing in the morning, I've never really been a natural morning person, but I've decided that mornings are good for me and that's what's best for me. And so I do get up earlier than I used to, and I do find myself being productive in the morning, partly because of the effect of this product line. And so I take my pill and it literally makes me feel like I want to do house chores. I can't explain it. It's an absolute miracle. I want to do the dishes and clean up the kitchen first thing in the morning and just make the kitchen look really nice. I've straightened the pillows on the couch. There are several things that I just all of a sudden really feel like doing. And many people have talked about that motivation that they receive. So let me just talk to you a little bit about these oils. And so you can decide if they might be a good choice for you, as they are right now for many people. This is our blend that we highly recommend for stress and overall mental and emotional health. It helps with your ability to adapt to change and challenges. And so if that doesn't sound perfect, I'm not sure what does. It encourages healthy adaptability and stress response through 4 different cofactors. And I just want to mention a little bit about each one of these. First is serotonin. This is the happy hormone. That's what we normally think of it. It's commonly linked to happiness, but the actual biological function is complex and multifaceted. And so it actually helps with modulating cognition, reward, learning, memory, and numerous physiological processes. So there's a lot going on with your serotonin. The second is GABA, and you may have heard of that before. It stands for gamma amino butyric acid. Easy for me to say. It's a naturally occurring amino acid which blocks and inhibits certain brain signals and decreases activity in your nervous system. So bringing you down a bit. Alkaloids is the third cofactor, and they balance between calm and excitement. And the fourth cofactor are essential fatty acids, which act like food for our brain. And so what I find most remarkable about this line of oils is that whereas some of the ones that we talked about previously are either going to shift you up to balance or down to balance, whereas this line has ingredients in it that both calm that overwhelm so that you can focus, and then give you that energy or motivation so that you can be productive. I think there are a lot of products on the market that can bring you down, but then maybe you have that absence of your personality or the will to really do a whole lot, or you have something that brings you up, and again, just kind of out of balance. It's either one or the other, whereas this gives you that perfect balance of calming down the overwhelm and then giving you some good energy and motivation to be productive. And so that's why I personally love it. Why would we have 3 products? This is the last thing I'll say about it, because that was a question that I had when I first learned about adaptive. Why do I need to buy all 3 of these when I could just buy this and make my own rollerball and veggie caps? So this is essential for diffusing, obviously. The reason why you would want to do a rollerball, and you can make your own rollerball, absolutely. The ingredients are the same. This one's just diluted with coconut, which you can do yourself, but it is a convenient form. And the reason why you want both, whether you either buy this or make your own version, is that there's a high amount of citrus oil in this blend. We have wild orange, which flashes off the skin a little more quickly than some of our oils. And so that coconut oil acts as just kind of a staying agent, and so the oil's not going to flash off as fast, and that way you can enjoy it longer and get the benefit from it longer. So that's why you want your rollerball. And then finally, there are just slightly different ingredients in the pills than what you'll find in the straight essential oil. So this is going to help you process it internally and digest it better than if you were to just try to ingest the oil. So definitely want all 3. So at this point, we would normally line you all up and allow you to muscle test these various oils, and we would bless you with your favorite as a sample. And since we can't do that tonight while we are on the class live and not physically with each other, I wanted to leave you with just a short lesson on anchoring. This is something that I've learned about within the past maybe 2 years, and it's really blessed me. So maybe you've not heard the term anchoring before, but I know you'll recognize the concept. So when you breathe in a favorite aroma and it triggers a memory, how many of us can smell apple pie or a delicious baked good, chocolate chip cookies, and just be transported in our mind back to grandma's kitchen? That's a pretty common example. So our olfactory, we breathe in, the little space in our brain which stores that information is right next to our memory bank. And so our sense of smell and our memories are linked. And so we have this great power, knowing that, to create a brand new anchor. So the baked goods in grandma's kitchen could be considered an anchor. And while that brings a warm and fuzzy, which maybe that's what we need right now, that's amazing. What if we created an anchor that gives us some power, makes us feel empowered right now? I would love to invite you to do that. I start with either a scripture or an affirmation, and I put together just a quick example for you. Psalm 91 has been just beautiful to me over the past couple of weeks. I've been meditating on it. I pulled just one part of a verse. God's arms of faithfulness are my shield from harm. I think that language is beautiful, and if you commit it to memory, it's not that hard, or you could put it on a note card. If an affirmation works better for you, just a statement of truth, then you could say something like, I don't fear a thing. Bottom line, make your statement, make your words really simple, and so they're easy to say out loud and remember. And then you want to combine that with a powerful memory that evokes that same emotion. And so in my case, my scripture and my truth both have to do with fear or protection. So I had two things that popped to mind. One is something that I did one time when I felt really, really brave, and I knew that I was capable. So when Kate turned, I think she was maybe 6 or 7, it was her desire to have a birthday party at Vertical Adventures, a climbing wall. And here I go again. As soon as I start to tell the story, my palms sweat. You don't have to climb right now, Christy. It's okay. But that just tells you how real my fear is. Not necessarily of heights, but of falling. I have all kinds of fear around falling. And so I love to envision, while I was there, my one nephew and I found a rather modest wall, whereas one of my sons and of course Kate was like a little tree frog. She just right to the top of the highest wall. No, thank you for mama, but I did pick a modest wall. My nephew and I were bound and determined to climb it, not just once, so that it wasn't just something that we did once in a lifetime, but twice, to prove that if we ever needed to or wanted to again, we could do this. And so I have this vision of myself at the top of my wall, hitting the very top, knowing how capable I am. I can do hard things. And so I love that visual and that example. And so just try to think of a powerful memory that you have to anchor in that emotion that you want to feel. And then another thought that I had was about the image of God as an eagle. And so obviously I want to think of myself as capable, but there's also a power that's higher than me, according to my faith. And so I think about God as an eagle mama, and there are so many other birds that when their babies learn to fly, those babies just either fly or fall. And they can either get hurt or they can die. And that's just be what it may. That's how they learn. That's how they do it. With an eagle, that is the one bird that if it senses that its baby is not going to fly, it will swoop down and catch that baby and bring it up and give it another try. And so I love the imagery of God as the mama eagle who can swoop down and rescue us when we need that. And so regardless of what we're going through in these uncertain times, it brings me peace to know, one, I can do hard things, and two, my God is like a mama eagle and he is not going to let me fall. And so those are both really powerful images that I have in my mind. And so what I do is I either say the scripture word or I say the affirmation words, and I think of the memory in my mind and I choose my oil. Maybe that's adaptive or another favorite. And I can just breathe it right out of the bottle and just anchor in to those memories. And so you only need to do it a few times with saying the words out loud, picturing the memory, and breathing the oil. And then something else you're probably familiar with is the Pavlov's theory with the dogs and how they ring the bell and they serve the meal and the dogs salivate. Well, eventually the dogs they can skip serving the meal and they just ring the bell and the dogs salivate because they associate the bell ringing with the meal. And so that's what we're doing. We're creating a very powerful association with the oil, the feeling, the words, the emotion, so that in the future, if you feel those heavy emotions coming on, you can just grab that oil, smell it, and you're instantly transported to your place of peace. And so I hope that that's a gift that you can take with you right away and benefit from this evening. So getting started, if you're already a customer or a doTERRA member, I invite you, pull out your oils, get to know them again. If maybe they got a little dusty over the course of time, pull out your reference books, do your muscle testing, and start using some oils to support you. If it's time for you to sign up for your membership, we would love to have you. There are 6 different kit options which waive that $35 initial membership fee. And if you're interested, we can go into detail. We also have a special right now that is our immune support kit. You can choose that with a $35 membership fee. It's typically just a reward member kit, but it's full of amazing immune boosting oils and products that I know you would love to have in your home right now. So doTERRA has made it a temporary enrollment option if you'd like to start. You get several different On Guard products, as well as the probiotic and copaiba, and just an amazing lineup. So you could start with that, or you can always begin a la carte if there's a certain oil or product that you want and just pay the $35. And then finally, if you just want to learn more before moving forward, please watch for additional classes. I know both Nicole and I will be coming forward with more. Follow us online and on social media. I'll add my contacts for upcoming dates. And as soon as we can reschedule our live class, it's always our goal to provide this class once a month at Inner Wisdom Healing Center. And as soon as we're allowed, we will be doing that again, and you can get your free oil sample. So if you're checking out, we want to be respectful of everyone's time. We've been on for just an hour at this point. Thank you so much for being here. We hope you learned a little something tonight, and just know that we're here to support you, and we love you, and we're cheering you on for your continued health and wellness. If you have questions, then I know Nicole and I are both available to stick around for a little bit and answer any questions that you may have. If you're in the Zoom room with us, just pop into the chat box and ask any questions. If you're joining us live on Facebook, just enter in the comments, and we're monitoring, and we can take questions in either place. And then Nicole, you're unmuted, and so if you wanted to say a little something as well, feel free to hop in, and I'll just check our Q's and A's here.
I was just going to say that if anybody wrote down the oils Christy was talking about, like certain ones that you're like, oh, I want to check that out. I meant to bring this up earlier. You can muscle test, you can do the sway test by looking at these oils and asking, is this a good oil for me today? Just by the ones you wrote down. So that's just another way to inquire what might be a good one. Since you can't smell them today, or you can't practice with them here, you could just check them out that way. But no, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching us, and stay tuned for more classes to come. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Nicole. I don't see any questions anywhere. If you're catching the recording, certainly just put your question or comment under Facebook. If you are in the Zoom room and you want us to send you a link, we can also do that by email when it's all said and done. So just reach out and let us know. Oh, let me see. I've got something in the chat box. Oh no, I'm sorry. Driana, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm so sorry. She thought we were starting at 7:30 and we started at 6:30. Do be sure to catch the recording and let us know if we need to email you a link, since you are checking in through Zoom. We'd be happy to send you the link via email so you can still watch the recording. That's all that I see. So I think we've covered everything. And okay, yes, Driana would like a link. Do we have your email, Driana?
I think she's on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, she logged in with her email, so we will have it. Wonderful. Just wanted to make sure we didn't miss out. When we're online, we don't always know personally everyone who's attending. So we're thrilled to have you, and we will just look for an email from either Nicole or myself with that link. And you'll have that probably sometime tomorrow. It takes just a little time for the recording to come down from the cloud and then get formatted. And then we'll have that link for you tomorrow. So thank you again, everyone. We are praying for you and sending out love and light to every single one of you. And please do not hesitate to reach out to either one of us if there's anything we can do to support you during this time and any time. We love you all and hope you have a great evening.